It's my distinct pleasure to welcome all of you to the December 2019 pinning ceremony, and congratulations, graduates. We are so proud of you. We are really pleased to have present today, and I want to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Ferguson, our president, administration, faculty, staff, and family and friends most of all. Today is just a very memorable day. I can reflect back on the day I was pinned and just remember with great clarity, and so we're just delighted that all of you will have the opportunity to both receive your pin and walk in our graduating ceremony tomorrow for your BSM. Usually I recognize every program. We have a variety of programs, and I say a few words about that. Could our traditional undergraduate students who are graduating today please stand, and if everybody could just acknowledge them for a moment. Our 2+2 students in the High Desert who are accelerated program. So I think there's a little competition going on here. I just don't quite get it. Our LVN to BSN students, could you please stand? Our entry-level master students, could you please stand? And we're always fortunate to have some of our registered nurses who come back to get their bachelor's degree. If you're here today, please stand. Most of you are in the online programs. So this is an exciting day let me take a moment, please, to recognize our faculty. Would you please stand? Faculty and staff who support our students. This is an exciting day when the school comes together to celebrate and acknowledge your hard work, your persistence, and the importance of receiving a BSN and going into the profession as a professional nurse. So what does it mean to be an APU graduate? You have gained skills, new ways of thinking, new ways of applying knowledge, and new ways to care for your patients. The degree that will be awarded tomorrow will be one that will move you forward in your professional practice and allow you to not only provide exceptional care to your patients, but also to be an example, I think, of what we would call in the Azusa Pacific language, a difference maker, someone who creates a difference in the lives of their patients. What makes this experience here at APU unique is that you have developed this knowledge at an institution that supports the integration of your beliefs and values into your nursing practice, into your leadership, and into your research. You came to APU because you had a desire to be a nurse or to gain additional education. You came for that new knowledge, those new skills, but you also chose APU because you wanted to grow in your faith and your relationship with God. You recognize the vital importance of that spiritual, personal growth and professional development. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. It is what lies within us that differentiates us from all others, and where the APU School of Nursing has had its greatest impact on you. What lies within you adds a unique dimension to your abilities as a nurse. You have chosen today to focus on Colossians 3:23-24, a passage that reminds us that whatever we do, we work and serve our Lord Jesus Christ. So what does it mean to be an APU graduate committed to service? It means defining your professional practice in a different way. Reflect for a moment as to how different it is to receive care from a competent nurse, well-versed in knowledge and skills, but one who delivers her care with a deep, abiding love for each patient because Jesus has asked this of him or her. What a life-changing experience that is for the patient, but also for the nurse. And the difference we can make in this world is that each of us can be a wonderful example of service in Christ's love. So I think I know what it means to be an APU nursing graduate. I think, first of all, you have a deep commitment and dedication to lifelong learning, to maintaining and continuing the skills and competencies that you've developed. Secondly, I feel confident that comes from the knowledge that you are well prepared and you are ready to move into the profession as a competent professional nurse. Most of all, I see that you are willing to make sacrifices both for your for your education and also for your practice. And finally, I see in you an authentic compassion for the suffering of others, one that has been deeply informed by your faith and your values and which have been fostered by APU. Christ's love is a love that renews daily, that prevents burnout. It's a love that moves us to extraordinary efforts on behalf of our patients. And it's a love that allows us to provide nursing care that makes a difference in the lives of others. What a blessing that God has placed that desire in your heart, a desire to be a nurse, that He's provided you with the means to be a nurse and to achieve that goal. What a blessing that He has guided your footsteps to APU, and He daily assures you that you abide in His love, and that when you leave here today, do not forget why you came. Do not forget what you have learned, and most of all, do not forget that you both walk and practice in Christ's love. You will be His hands and His feet, and you will change the world. May God bless you, and congratulations. I'm delighted to be able to introduce to you at this moment your president, Dr. Paul Ferguson.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus of APU. Congratulations, graduates. This is just our first time together. We'll be together tomorrow when the actual graduation happens, so pace yourselves. I'm just wanting to welcome also you and your families to this remarkable campus, and really to just be privileged to share my congratulations for you. Thank you, Dean, for those wonderful comments. Deep commitment is what you've been involved in. You are graduating from a highly difficult program, one of the finest programs in the country. You've survived physiology and anatomy. You survived pharmacology, my discipline, and you certainly successfully came through your clinicals. So I congratulate you on a very difficult and challenging curriculum with a heart of compassion that we are committed to working with you to develop as an institution that is committed to Christ-centered academic excellence. The School of Nursing and the programs you've come through are a wonderful representative of that commitment, that you are the hands and feet of Christ. Thank you, family and friends, for being with them every step of the way. This is absolutely... We all know that these kinds of challenging, clinically oriented professional programs are not easy. The challenge is shared, and thank you for walking that path with our students. And I just want to add the concept to you students as you step out and you become the professionals that this pinning ceremony is symbolic of, as you make that transition. You have the privilege and challenge of being able to now meet many, many people in their most vulnerable moments. You most more than most, will sit on a bedside, sit in a waiting room, in a hallway, in a quiet conversation. And the individuals, whether it be the patient or their families, you will be that moment of comfort, that moment of truth, that tangible moment of compassion. God has prepared you through your APU education to be that moment in time. As successful nurses, you will have many of those. Many of you have already had those. But I'm just so grateful that you have willingly and humbly accepted that challenge to be the hands and feet of Christ in those very special moments. I congratulate you for that courage and for having that privilege and challenge to do that. So I just wish you nothing but congratulations. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and celebrating your degree conferral. And I always have this favorite quote that I usually end with when I meet with a group of student nurses who are graduating. And you've heard it before, the author is anonymous, but they always define a hero as an individual who saves a life. That individual who saves thousands is defined as a nurse. Congratulations. Enjoy your moment.
Please bow your heads as we ask for God's presence today. Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts and open hands ready to serve you. We are so thankful for the ability to come together to praise your name and welcome these nurses into your service. We ask you to be present in our lives today and always. Please guide our actions and help us to remember that you are our truth. Please bless our gathering here, and may we feel your presence in all we do. In your precious name, amen. Please welcome our pinning coordinators, Delaney Adams, Eliana Finley, and Bethy Van Druten.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bethy Van Druten. This is Eliana Finley and Delaney Adams, and as she said, we are your pinning coordinators for this semester. We would like to thank our family and friends, our colleagues, faculty, and staff. Thank you, Dr. Ferguson, for your kind words. It is such a gift that we get to celebrate together today as one big family. We have multiple programs already pointed out, the LVN to BSN, the RN to BSN, the entry-level masters, the 2+2 upper division, and of course, our traditional BSN. Just as we have learned throughout our time in nursing school, discharge planning begins the moment we are admitted, and many of us have been dreaming of this moment from the beginning, so let's celebrate together today.
Our theme for today's ceremony is Soli Deo Gloria, which in Latin means to God be the glory alone. Colossians 3, verses 23 through 24 says, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ." What an incredible opportunity we are receiving as we get our degrees tomorrow. As nurses, we have the sacred calling to be the hands and feet of Jesus and to bring glory to him through caring for others. As we move forward from today into our nursing careers, may our work be marked by our drive, our passion, our compassion for others, and our commitment to serving our patients, their families, and ultimately the Lord.
Over the last few years, as student nurses, we have been the recipients of compassion from those closest to us, who supported us through this prestigious program, which happens to be one of the top 10 nursing programs in the nation. So to those of you who have provided continuous support and encouragement, be it emotional, financial, spiritual, or most importantly, by means of caffeine, we thank you. We know that we would not have gotten where we are today without your love, prayers, and support. And to our fellow nursing colleagues, congratulations, we did it.
On behalf of the Division of Undergraduate Studies, our administration, faculty, and staff, it is my pleasure to present the School of Nursing Excellence Awards at this time. But before I announce the rewards, I just want to take a moment to express to you how very proud we are here at APU of your excellent work and all that you did, all that you invested as students to get where you are today. Many of you have been here for 4 to 5 years. Some of you have been here for a couple years. Many of you have raised children, gotten married, taken care of jobs, worked in many different arenas, have been extremely, extremely invested in life and in your nursing career. And for that, you all get an award of excellence today. So thank you so much. I will now announce the awards for the School of Nursing, our Excellence Awards. And as I announce the names of the recipients, will you please come up to the stage and receive your award? Audience and graduates, please kindly, I know you can't hold your applause, but keep it down at least so that we can hear all the names as they're called. That would be really great. Our first are the Academic Excellence Awards. The Academic Excellence Award goes to a student who has the highest cumulative GPA in a BSN nursing graduate program, and it's done per cohort. The students that are receiving the awards today have earned between a 3.79 and a 4.0, and you'll see their scores on the board in a little bit. So for the Department of the Bachelor's Degree, the BSN program, it is Shelby Stout. Upper Division Transfer Program, 2+2, it's Darlene Garcia. Upper Division Transfer Program, LVN to BSN recipients are Anna Dorada, Chelsea Brown. The RN to BSN program recipients are Chris Yo, cohort 88, Jane Chung, cohort 30B, and a two-way tie for cohort 30B, Michael Van and Nicole Mestry. For cohort 82, it's Lucia Curry. And for the ELM program, the IRC student award goes to Ramita Sadaria. There is a two-way tie for the San Diego ELM. The two-way tie goes to Courtney Reynolds and Kaloni Sam. Monrovia cohort 84, the recipient is Rebecca Lyle. Congratulations to all the students. The next award, the Clinical Excellence Award. The recipient of the Clinical Excellence Award is an enthusiastic learner who maintained a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or above, demonstrated outstanding clinical practice and skills, and exceptional professional care for patients based on a solid theoretical foundation. They maintained a positive attitude. Oh, that's a lot of work. Engaged professionally with others. That's a lot of work. And consistently incorporated the needs and the desires of clients in their care, and that took a lot. Here they are. The Department of the BSN recipient is Bethy Van Bruten. The Upper Division Transfer Program 2+2 recipient is Theen Nguyen. The Upper Division Transfer Program LVN to BSN recipients are Alexandria Gutierrez, Carmen Madrano Flores. The entry-level master's program recipients are Caitlin Gutierrez, Devon Almirio, and Rebecca Denning. Congratulations. The recipient of the Faculty Award is somebody who has maintained a cumulative GPA of at least a 3.0 and who was identified by faculty as excellent in clinical practice and skills. Criteria include demonstrated professional writing ability and leadership qualities, offered service and leadership to ongoing programs and organizations within the School of Nursing and the university at large, integrated well with peers, supported the instructor's role as facilitator in a course, and maintained a positive attitude even while fulfilling multiple roles such as student, nurse, friend, spouse, and parent. Phew. Okay, here we go. Department of Baccalaureate Nursing, Alisa Salanga. Upper Division Program 2+2, Heidi Warren. Upper Division Transfer Program, LVN to BSN recipients are Doreen Ortega, Stephanie Sanchez. The RN to BSN program recipients are Janine Hanna, Cassandra Liu, Lauren Mendeville, and Don Reno. The entry-level master's program recipients are Christopher Hundifer, Jacqueline Nuanji Brown, and Adriana Rego. The Outstanding Senior Award is given on behalf of the university and chosen by the School of Nursing faculty. The recipient must earn a GPA of at least 3.0, demonstrate leadership and service at both the university level and the School of Nursing through involvement with student nurses associations such as the ASB, Sigma Theta Tau Excellence Project, and diverse populations, minorities, and underserved. The upper division transfer recipient is Kimberly Dixie Latara. The entry-level master's ELM program recipients are Christina Morgan, Catherine Nguyen, and Jasmine Smith. The Inspirational Award. It is given to an outstanding student in each of the cohorts within the LVN to BSN and RN to BSN program. The recipients of this award are determined by a vote of their peer and include faculty input. The criteria includes inspirational, demonstration of scholarship, contribution to classroom activities and discussions, support of their fellow classmates, and sound leadership. Here we go. The LVN to BSN recipients are Lydia Canty and Danelle Gabagat. The RN to BSN recipients are Janine Hanna, Cassandra Liu, and Raquel Lara. Congratulations to every one of our recipients today. Please welcome Dr. Patricia Eslin, our APU Sigma Theta Tau president, to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Congratulations, graduates, every single one of you. So my name is Dr. Patricia Eslin, and I teach across programs, primarily in the undergrad traditional. You may have noticed some of us wearing these purple cords. Sorry. These cords signify, these cords, stop. Okay, focus. These cords signify membership in Sigma Theta Ta. I am the president of Iota Sigma chapter of Sigma, Global Nursing Excellence, formerly known as Sigma Theta Ta International, now known as Sigma. Sigma is the only international nursing honor society in the world. The organization was founded in 1922 by 6 nurses at Indiana University, now with more than 135,000 members worldwide in more than 90 countries. Sigma recognizes the value of scholarship and excellence in nursing practice. Sigma represents excellence in nursing through scholarship, leadership, research, and practice. It is both an honor and a privilege to be inducted. Students are invited to be inducted if they meet the top 35% of their respective cohorts. You can also be inducted as a community nurse leader once you have some experience as a practicing RN and apply through national. So no matter where you end up practicing, there will always be a Sigma local chapter to become a member of. But we hope you'll stay connected with Iota Sigma if you're in the area, all the way to San Diego. Also, you can be a member of more than one chapter, maintaining dual membership in 2 or even more chapters. So if you're a member, new or for many years, guests and faculty, please stand so that we may recognize you at this time. Congratulations, everyone.
Good afternoon. My name is Valerie Floyd Davis, and I'm the recruitment specialist here at the School of Nursing, and I'm also a United States Navy veteran. It is my distinct privilege to acknowledge 2 of our military students today and present them with the Department of Defense approved Azusa Pacific University Challenge coin, along with the red, white, and blue military graduation cord. A challenge coin is a small coin or medallion bearing an organization's insignia or emblem carried by an organization's members. Traditionally, they are given to military members to prove membership when challenged and to enhance morale. In practice, challenge coins are normally presented by unit commanders in recognition of special achievement by a member of their unit. These are very prized possessions of any military member dating all the way back to the Roman Empire. So at this time, would the following 2 students please approach the stage? Melinda Angulo from the High Desert 2+2 undergraduate BSN transfer program. Francisco Escobar from the Inland Empire LVN to BSN program. Senior Airman Melinda Angulo served 6 years in the Air Force Reserves, functioning as medical administration for the 452nd Aerospace Medicine Squadron at March Air Reserve Base. Senior Airman Melinda Angulo. On behalf of Azusa Pacific University School of Nursing, we thank you for your service and your selfless sacrifice to our nation. Thank you. Petty Officer, 2nd Class, Francisco Escobar, served as a yeoman for 14 years in the United States Coast Guard with the Port Security Unit 311 in Long Beach. Petty Officer Escobar has many awards, but to include the Navy Unit Commendation Medal, the Secretary of Transportation Outstanding Unit Award with a gold frame, the Global War on Terrorism Medal, and the United States Coast Guard Commandant's Letter of Commendation Medal. Petty Officer Francisco Escobar. On behalf of Azusa Pacific University School of Nursing, we thank you for your selfless sacrifice and your service to our country. Thank you. Can we give them another round of applause? Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I have the great pleasure to introduce one of the most impactful and important nurse researchers, nurse leaders, nursing educators, and clinician in the U.S. and possibly in the world. It is truly an honor to have her here at APU and to address the graduates as part of pinning this year. And I don't want to get her amazing accomplishments wrong, so I got old, I have to wear glasses. Dr. Kathy Dracup is the Dean Emeriti and a Professor Emeritus of the University of California, San Francisco School of Nursing, where she served as dean for a decade, leading the school to its #1 ranking for nursing research during her tenure. She was known as a dean who advocated for her faculty, their research, the nursing programs, but most importantly for students, as she created fellowships, scholarships, and innovative pathways to foster nursing excellence and advance nursing science. Her professional career includes over 50 years of experience in cardiovascular nursing and university professorships. She's a member of the Institute of Medicine, where she continues to be a leader in the field of cardiovascular nursing. She was the first nurse to be awarded fellow status in the American Heart Association. Dr. Dracup is recognized internationally for her investigation in the care of patients with heart disease and the effects of this disease on spouses and other family members. She was the first researcher to describe the quality of life of patients with heart failure who were being considered for cardiac transplantation, and the first to attest the effects of teaching CPR to family members of cardiac patients. She has conducted a number of randomized clinical trials testing interventions to enhance self-management of patients with heart disease, to reduce the emotional distress experienced by patients and their family members, and to decrease morbidity and mortality from sudden cardiac death. Her research has been funded by the National Institutes of Health, the Department of Defense, Atlantic Philanthropies, the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation, the Veterans Association, and the American Heart Association, among others. She has published more than 400 articles, chapters, and books. I don't know when you sleep, Kathy. Dr. Dracup has received numerous awards, which include an honorary Doctor of Science degree from the University of Technology, Sydney, Australia, the Award for Professional Achievement from the University of California, Los Angeles, and the University of California, San Francisco Medal, which is the equivalent of an honorary PhD. She has been designated as a living legend by the American Association of Nurses. On a personal note, Dr. Dracup has mentored many of APU's nursing faculty as we have pursued our doctoral education and our programs of research. Dr. Dracup was the dean who hooded me when I walked across the stage at UCSF many years ago to receive my doctorate. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kathy Dracup.
It is such a privilege and an honor to be here, and I just want to congratulate all the graduates And congratulations to all the family and friends of the graduates who I know have been living for graduation. So I thought maybe I would start today by just describing for friends and family, I know you graduates know all of these things, what nursing looks like today, because I think that there are a lot of stereotypes, some promoted by television shows and movies, some just that have been traditional ones that are quite different than the real demographic of nurses today. So the average nurse graduating with a bachelor's degree in nursing is, if a female, 30 years old, and if a male, 35. I don't know what that means about men. I think what it means is that they work with their bachelor's degree in sociology a little bit longer, hoping to get up from that barista position. But anyway, what's very interesting is that the Gallup poll, which has been taken for decades now, asking which profession the American citizens think is the most trustworthy, have chosen nursing for the last 17 years. And the second most trusted are physicians, the third, pharmacists, the least trusted, elected officials. One of the things that you graduates will find, and some of you are already nurses or have come from LVN positions, and you already know that we have faced a series of nursing shortages across the US over the decades. But we are now heading into another nursing shortage, and you will not have any problems finding physicians. It's predicted that over the next 5 years, there's going to be a 15% growth in opportunities for nurses. There are now 3.9 million registered nurses in the United States today. And the difference, I graduated a long time ago, but I graduated to 1 million nurses. So we've had a 4-fold increase just in my career. And I think that speaks to the amazing diversity that nurses have available to them in terms of populations, so pediatrics, obstetrics, oncology, different disease entities, trauma nursing, helicopter nursing, all kinds of opportunities that nurses have to be of service and to bring their incredible scientific knowledge and skills to the experience that patients and their families are having. It's, I know for many of you, stressful to think about the NCLEX coming up. So I thought I would prepare you for your NCLEX experience by giving you a question. So in addition to administering IV potassium for a patient with hypokalemia and severe muscle weakness, which of the following should you do? First, obtain a 12-lead electrocardiogram and monitor the patient's QT interval. Those of you who get this wrong won't get pins today. Second, assess neurological status and monitor for seizure activity. Third, assess reflexes and monitor for a positive Chosovsky sign, which is a sign of tetanus. And fourth, obtain arterial blood gas values and monitor for metabolic acidosis. All right, graduates. Excellent. When I read that NCLEX exam question, what really struck me is the important role that nurses play in keeping our patients safe. That question really reflects so much scientific knowledge, but also the role that nurses play as patients who come into our sphere of care, then go on to have more severe symptoms or just become sicker. And that you are and will be, just as the president said, the person there to make a difference. So much of the work that's been done in patient safety really involves nurses. Nurses being able to anticipate, to monitor changes in patients' clinical status, and to be able to communicate to patients and their families and friends what is happening. So it's very exciting to me today to be here at this occasion of pinning. Pinning, as many of you know, actually in the tradition harkens back to the Holy Crusades, when a Knights of Malta pin was worn by those who were caring for people fighting in the Crusades. But in nursing, it actually harkens back to Florence Nightingale and the pins that those nurses wore during the Crimea War. So it's a very long tradition, and it speaks to our time of stepping into clinical roles. So this is, in many ways, as special as your graduation with its degree status. So it's just such a pleasure for me to be here and to congratulate you. I'd like to just tell you two stories. One that I think exemplify both the NCLEX question and the importance of keeping patients and their family members safe through this whole trajectory of illness. And then a second story that I think is important for all of us to just consider. So the first story comes from actually my first years as a nurse. I was a clinical nurse with just a couple of years' experience working in Chicago in an inner city emergency room. And paramedics called and said that there was a 3-year-old boy who had been hit by a car. They were coming in, so they arrived in the emergency room, and everyone gathered around. It was just a beautiful, angelic-looking boy, curly hair, who was unconscious, and within a few minutes of arriving in the emergency room, went into cardiac arrest. So we all started CPR, and it was just a very touching time. Many of the people in the emergency room were young and had children of their own in that preschool time. So it was just, it was a really hard cardiac arrest. We worked on the boy for about half an hour and then finally called it and said, no, the boy has died, and noted time of death. And I think all of us, you know, we stepped back and looked at each other. A few people were very tearful. It was just beyond sad. And then, because I was the charge nurse that day, one of the receptionists came up to me and said, the boy was hit by a man, and this was the story, that the boy was sitting on a bleacher at his brother's baseball game, and the father said to another 10-year-old son, keep an eye on him, the 3-year-old, I have to run to the car and get something. And the 3-year-old, about 2 minutes later, turned around and saw his father cutting across the grass, and he came off the bleachers and followed his father out onto the street where someone who wasn't speeding, he was going about 15 miles an hour, hit the boy. Didn't see him because he was so short. And so the receptionist said to me, the man who hit the boy is here, and he would like to say something to the father. And you will have many of those moments in your clinical experiences. I really wondered what to do, if I should let these two men meet. And so I went into the father, who was in a private waiting room outside the emergency room, and I said, the man who hit your son is here. You certainly don't have to see him, but he's asking if he can see you. And he said, by this time he knew that his son had died, yes, it's okay. So I brought the driver of the car in. Now let me paint this picture for you. The two men are both about 40 years old, both have receding hairlines, both are about 20 pounds overweight, little paunchy, and they look like they could be identical brothers. And I opened the door where the father was sitting, and he stood up, and then behind me was the driver. He came in, and the two men came in, and they just fell into each other's arms sobbing. And I have never forgotten that scene in the emergency room and what it meant to be witnessing that, beginning the healing that was going to take a long, long time for both the father and the driver. It was just such a painful moment and such a privilege to be there. And to think about how you could or couldn't make a difference. I've seen in my lifetime so many changes in family visiting hours, in our policies around having family members during CPR of their loved one. A lot of things now that we used to think should be regulated now aren't, because we really realize that when people are sick, it is a time when you're anticipating loss and change and just incredible emotions. So the second story I wanted to tell you was one that actually comes from the Buddhist tradition. It's about a woman named Kasi Gotami. She is a young woman growing up in a rural village, and her family somehow pulls together enough of a dowry so that she marries the son of a much wealthier person than her family. And so she, as in the Indian tradition, moves into that family, her husband's family, into their house. And she's treated really badly. Everyone knows she comes from a lesser caste, and that she just really isn't accepted as an equal in the family. But after about 5 years, she becomes pregnant and is thrilled, and then has a son, and her status in the family just suddenly explodes. She's now the mother of a son, and so everybody in the family is treating her quite differently. But only after a year, the son becomes very sick with a fever and suddenly dies. And she is beyond distraught. So she's bringing this young boy to the family and saying, you must do something, you must do something. He needs help, he needs help. And everyone can see that the boy is dead. And she then goes to the neighbors and said, my son is so sick, can you give me something to make him better? And the neighbors say, he's not sick, he's dead. But finally, one of the neighbors takes pity on her and said, you should go and see if the Buddha can help you. So she takes her young son in her arms to the Buddha, and the Buddha said, yes, I can help you. I can bring him back to life. But first, you must bring me a mustard seed from a house who has never experienced pain. So she goes from house to house in the village, and at first, everyone says, yes, of course, we'll give you a mustard seed. And then when she says, but have you ever experienced pain? Everyone says back to her, yes, I've experienced, the loss of my father, the loss of my husband, the loss of a child, some really horrible, painful loss, usually through illness or death. And so Kasi Gotami goes back to the Buddha and said, I understand now that loss and pain are part of life, and she buries her son. So in that traditional story told in the Buddhist tradition, I think we as nurses experience that same phenomenon that I had in the emergency room, that it is such a privilege to be with our patients, to be with our families, and to know that we are making a difference. You will go home from your shifts or from whatever your work might be as a clinical nurse, knowing that you were really important at that moment, and you were there whether it was at a diagnosis or at a treatment or at people saying, what they wanted in their lives, if their decision to go into hospice or palliative care, that all of these are such important decisions, and we have the privilege and the honor to accompany patients and their families in this moment. So I just want to thank you all for inviting me to congratulate you on this pinning ceremony, and know that you will be wonderful nurses. And welcome for those of you who are just becoming nurses and taking that NCLEX. Welcome into the profession, and thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you for those examples of how we can be the hands and feet of Christ to people in need of health care. What an awesome privilege. We now will proceed with the pinning of these very deserving students. Yay! Please refer to the back of your program, and you can read about the history and the significance of the nursing pin as we go through this process of pinning them. At this time, I would like the Azusa traditional BSN faculty to approach the stage, and students, will you approach to the side? High Desert faculty for the traditional, for the 2+2 program, will you please come to the stage? High Desert Upper Division Transfer 2+2 students, would you please approach?
Stephanie Lopez.
Damien Calvo.
Brianna Reese Lowe.
Tien Nguyen.
Stacy Ann Rosales.
Jimmy Nguyen.
Lizette Maciel.
Edgere E.J. Okore.
Jordan Asnakar.
Sergio Salgado.
Heidi Warren.
Alyssa Bales.
Jessica Mendoza Llanes.
Darlene Garcia.
Nora Aldarasha Marquez.
Kimberly Garcia.
Tashay Holland.
Diana Milan.
Kimberly Brown.
Cynthia Isabel Garcia. Ashley Larios.
Will the Upper Division transfer LVN faculty from Monrovia please come to the stage? Monrovia Site Cohort 14. Students, please. Will the Upper Division transfer LVN faculty from Monrovia please come to the stage? Monrovia Site Cohort 14. Students, please approach.
Jerry Sway. Stephanie Sanchez. Daniel Munoz. Christina Torrance. Stephanie Sanchez. Miranda Murphy. Christopher Chung. Chelsea McConnelly Brown. Luel Perennial. Danielle Gabagat. Mary Joyce Mercado. Shayla Sisler. Jennifer Bolawan.
Christel Hannah Nokun. Cynthia Marie Aguilar. Brooke Ashley Minter. Carmen Madreno.
Will the Upper Division transfer LBN faculty for the Inland Empire Regional Campus please come to the stage? And will the Inland Empire Cohort 15 students please approach? Will the Upper Division transfer LBN faculty for the Inland Empire Regional Campus please come to the stage? And will the Inland Empire Cohort 15 students please approach?
Dorian Ortega. Michelle Fornes.
Frankie Escobar.
Autumn Albanez.
Melissa Chavez.
Lacey Daly.
Dina McAuliffe.
Janine Alisa Galvan.
Sarah Flores.
Lydia Canty.
Alexandra Gutierrez.
Mike Tran.
Victoria Simpes.
Lydia Canty. Mangala Bamunagama.
Alexandra Gutierrez.
Mike Tran. LaSharay Johnson.
Victoria Simpe.
Mangala Bamunagama. Anna Deriada. Amy Bakarovich Johnson. And Rebecca Casarati. Anna Deriada. Amy Bakarovich. And Rebecca Casarati.
May the faculty from the RN to BSN program come to the stage. And will the following students approach the stage? RN to BSN cohort, online cohort 27, RN to BSN
May the faculty
online
from the
cohort
RN to
30A
BSN
and
program
30B
come to the stage.
RN to BSN Inland Empire Campus, and will the
82.
following students
And RN
approach
to
the
BSN
stage?
Monrovia site,
RN to BSN
cohort 88.
cohort online cohort 27, RN to BSN online cohort 30A and 30B, RN to BSN Inland Empire Campus cohort 82, and RN to BSN Monrovia site cohort 88.
Virginia Silva. Natalie Cabanban. Carrie Samoya Kennedy. Virginia Silva. Natalie Cabanban.
Yoon Kim.
Carrie Samoya Kennedy.
Cindy Ann Rodriguez. Yoon Kim. Eileen Rosas Santos.
Cindy
Cassandra
Ann
Liu.
Rodriguez.
Paige
Eileen
Slore.
Rosas Santos.
Cassandra Liu. Paige Slore. Sue Ragsdale. Angelina Eon. Monica Lopez.
Sue Ragsdale.
Juana Torres.
Angelina Eon.
Rena Kitani Seminary.
Monica Lopez.
Erica Vega.
Juana Torres.
Lyndall Jen Ragasa.
Rena Kitani Seminary.
Erica Vega.
Irma Rose Whalen.
Lyndall Jen Ragasa.
Lucia Curry. Rosie Reyes. Irma Rose Whalen. Don Ruano. Lucia Raquel Hara. Jennifer
Rosie
Tice.
Reyes.
Don Ruano. Raquel Hara. Jennifer Tice.
Elm Monrovia site, cohort 84 faculty, please come to the stage. And students, please approach. Elm Monrovia site, cohort 84 faculty, please come to the stage. And students, please approach.
Anna Pieszczeta.
Noel Chang. Oh,
Ani Mary Canyon. Anna
Adriana Rigo. Noel Chang.
Christian Marie Canova.
Okay. Jordan Louise Royer.
Jasmine Rose Smith. Christian Marie Canova.
Jordan Rose.
Leah Aubert Walker.
Louise Royer.
Jasmine
Megan
Rose
Herrera.
Smith. Maria Isabel Higuera.
Jordan Rose. Madison
Leah
Ennis.
Aubert Walker. Joy Sy.
Megan Herrera. Jerry
Maria
Joseph
Isabel
Matthews.
Higuera. Rebecca Marie Lyle.
Madison Ennis. Patrick Lopez.
Rebecca Denning.
Joseph Matthews.
Rebecca Marie
Sean
Lyle.
Michael Martinez.
Crystal Lynn Molino Garcia.
Patrick Lopez.
Rebecca Denning.
Sean Michael Martinez.
Crystal Lynn Molino Garcia.
Elm San Diego, cohort 85, please come to the stage, faculty, and then will the students approach? Elm San Diego, cohort 85, please come to the stage, faculty, and then will the students approach?
Courtney Brooke Reynolds.
Donna Majors.
Taylor Marie Brocato.
Jackie Brown.
Kulani Nee Sam.
Donna Majors. Junwan Lee.
Taylor Marie Catherine Nguyen.
Jackie Brown. Lindsay Lenhoff.
Sade Yosef.
Devin O'Meara.
Jacqueline Spitz.
Raphael Telfer. Lindsay Lenhoff.
Samantha Heath.
Devin Farah Jama.
Jacqueline Spitz.
Raphael Telfer.
Samantha Heath.
Mansarat Noboa. Farah Jama. Mansarat Noboa.
Last but not least, Elm Inland Empire Regional Campus, cohort 86. Faculty, will you approach the stage, and students, will you line up? Last but not least, Elm Inland Empire Regional Campus, cohort 86. Faculty, will you approach the stage, and students, will you line up?
Christina Morgan.
Christopher James Hunsdorfer.
Eric Daniel Olivas.
Jean Tara Labrador.
Nazareth Santos.
Angelica Gonzalez.
Jasmine Henderson.
Jean Tara Labrador.
Nazareth Santos. Miriam Montoya.
Jessica Amaya.
Jasmine Henderson. Regina Sabdaria. Miriam Montoya.
Aubrey Dawn Worst.
Caitlin Gutierrez.
Jansen Craig Burke. Aubrey Dawn Worst.
Nelson Aganaga. Caitlin Gutierrez.
Marissa Lynn Hernandez. Jansen Craig.
Janice Morales. Nelson Aganaga.
Marissa Lynn Hernandez.
Janice Morales.
Let's give one round of applause for all of these deserving graduates. Woo! And you will see on the stage here, we have pictures in frames. In those frames are the pictures of our illustrious graduates. And they will be hanging on the walls of the various campuses from which you graduates studied. And our hope is many things. First of all, that you come and visit us and look at your picture and come say hi, and maybe even come back to graduate school in the future. Another thing we will do is as we walk down the hallways, we will also be praying for you and for the future that you will have in healthcare and all that you will be doing to make a difference in the world. With that, I'd like Professor Gina Reyes to come to the stage, and we will begin our candle lighting ceremony and the nursing pledge.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of you nurses. It's my pleasure to recite the pledge with you for the first time as you are pinned today. The pinning ceremony with the lighting of the candles and the recitation of the International Pledge for Nurses is meant to be both a solemn and joyous occasion. At this time, we'll ask the faculty to surround the students. We invite nurses in the audience to join us in the middle of the center aisle. Students, please stand. As we are getting into our places, let me share with you the history. Dr. Dracup already shared some of the history of the lighting of the candle. It dates back to Florence Nightingale and the Crimean War. Ms. Nightingale was known for tending to the soldiers by candlelight during the night. The candle lighting and the recitation of the pledge now represents the nurses' devotion to the provision of excellence in nursing and our public declaration of our commitment to the profession of nursing to those we will serve as nurses. Are we all ready? Nurses, please turn on the candle lights and keep them on for the ceremony. I will lead you in the reciting of the International Pledge for Nurses. Please repeat after me. In the full knowledge of the obligation I am undertaking, I promise to care for the sick with all the skill and understanding I possess, without regard to race, creed, color, politics, or social status. Sparing no effort to preserve the quality of life, to alleviate suffering and to promote health. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care, holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me, and refraining from any action which might endanger life or health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skills at the highest level, and to give loyal support and cooperation to all members of the health team. I will do my utmost to honor the International Code of Ethics applied to nursing, and to uphold the integrity of the professional nurse. Nurses, please raise your candles.
Thank you so much. As we conclude this ceremony, I have just a couple of announcements. Immediately following, we would love to invite you to a dessert reception to your left upstairs outside at the Kresge Plaza. And at the conclusion of the benediction, we will have the faculty that are encircling exit out the center aisle, followed by the students starting from the back row. So if the guests could remain seated, that would be most appreciated. Please bow your heads for the benediction. Lord, you have called us into being through your love. You have joined us to one another in love. How good and pleasant it is when your people dwell together in unity. Grant our nursing students the strength to carry your blessing from this place to the next. May they be at home in any land, for all the earth is yours. May the lamp of your word guide their feet on their path of life. Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly beyond all that we could ever ask, think, or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to the glory of Christ Jesus through all generations, forever and ever. Amen. Go with God.